Hello students, let us see one more point from the first unit, that is a database system concept. In previous lecture we have seen three level architecture of database system, different levels of data abstraction, etc. Today we are going to learn about overall structure of DBMS. We have seen that this three level architecture is required for easy interaction with the database. Due to this three level architecture, uh, all the internal complicated details of database, irrelevant details of database are hidden from the user, and interaction of that user with the database, it becomes easy. The database becomes user friendly. There we have seen that different types of users work at different levels. For example, hardware engineer or system developer work at physical level. He deals with how the data is actually stored on hard disk. Then database administrator, programmers, they work at logical level, and the non-technical users, they work at view level. So today let us see the overall structure of DBMS. Here you can see the diagram of structure of DBMS. At the lowest level there is a disk storage component, means actual hard disk of your system. So all the data is stored on the hard disk, which is a disk storage component. Here at the above side, topmost side, you can see different types of users, and these different types of users directly or indirectly interact with this database which is stored on the disk. So see the disk storage component, this is actual hard disk on which data is stored. Here data is stored on the hard disk. Then indices are also stored on the disk. Indices means what? So index is created for fast retrieval of data. Database system creates these indices for fast retrieval of data. In further chapters, we are going to study details about these indices. For today's, only remember that indices are created for fast retrieval of data from the database. Then data dictionary, it is also stored on disk. So what is data dictionary? Data dictionary is also called as a metadata, data about data. For example, suppose in your database there are three tables. Table 1 is having columns student ID, name, age. Table 2 is having columns student ID, name, and subject ID, name, and teacher. Table 3 are having columns student ID, subject ID, and marks. Here you can see that these three tables are related to each other. Student ID from table 1, it is related with student ID in table 3. Subject ID in table 2, it is related to subject ID in table 3. So these are related data. Tables are related to each other. So the actual records, here are 4 records. In table 2 also 4 records are there. In table 3 also there are 4 records. This is called as actual data which is stored on the database. Now data dictionary or metadata means extra information about this data. Data about data. So the table name T1, T2, T3, table name, column names of that table, student ID, name, age. This data is called as a metadata, or total number of records in each table. Table 1 is having 4 records. Table 3 is also having 4 records. So total number of records in each table. This is also called as a metadata. How many tables are there in database? So total 3 tables are there in database. So total number of tables in database, it is also called as a metadata. So such type of metadata or data dictionary, Data about data, it is also stored on a hard disk. Hard disk also contains statistical data, means large amount of data, historical data. For example, uh, admission data of last 5 years, first year admission data of last 5 years. Such type of large amount of data is also stored on a disk, which is called as a statistical data. Now let us say at the topmost side, there are different users of the database. First type of user is a navy user, means non-technical user, normal user. For example, tailors, agents or web users. In previous lecture, we had seen one example of 10th student who want to view his result online. He will use a web browser, he will type website address URL and he will see his result. We know that is all that student information, result information is stored on database here itself, and with the help of application interfaces, means web browser etc., that normal user is interacting with this database is here on the hard disk, but that normal user is not aware of this all internal structure of database. He uses application interface like browser and interact with database, views his result. Then another type of user is application programmer. So the application programmer, he may be a software engineer. He writes his own application program, own software. So here it is shown application programmer write application program. For example, there is a programmer who writes application program for displaying result online. So that application program, it is compiled. Compilers and linkers are used for compiling that application program and converting that application program into object code. So that source code is compiled by the compiler. Linker is also used for linking different files, and after compilation that application program is converted into object code. Application program object code means executable code. Then that executable code also uses query evaluation engine for evaluating the queries. So for example, suppose in case of online result, the normal user will type seat number and then click on the button. So below that, um, uh, application program is running, web application is running. So there is a query which will find all the information, result related information of that seat number. So that query evaluation engine, it will perform evaluation or execution of that query. This query evaluation engine again takes help of this storage manager component. Storage manager is again one more component of DBMS. It is responsible for storing data in the database and retrieving data from the database. So this query evaluation engine evaluates the query with the help of this storage manager component. And this evaluation engine again interacts with database because it all the data is stored on this hard disk in the database. Third type of users are sophisticated users. Sophisticated users means analyst. They will perform some type of analysis, means they will work on statistical data, historical data, large amount of data, and from that large amount of data they will find out some analytical information. For example, there is a statistical data of uh, admission. It consists of admission information, first year admission information of last 5 years. So what this analyst or sophisticated user will do, he will use query tools and he will write complicated queries for finding out information about which is the most favorite branch of the students, means which branch gets more number of admissions. Or suppose another example, uh, there is a statistical data about the sales. It contains information about the products which are sold. Then the analyst or sophisticated user, what will he do? He will use query tool and he will write query for finding out which product is sold in which month very most in very large scale. So such type of statistical information, it will be find out by the analyst or sophisticated users. So that sophisticated user also interacts with the database because that statistical data, large amount of data is stored on hard disk. He also interacts with database but with the help of query tools. He writes different complicated queries to find out some important information. Why this analysis is required? So by using last 5 years admission data, he will find out which branch is the famous branch among all the students, so that when new college is being started, that branch will be started in that college, like that. So some statistical analysis will be done by this statistical user. Here query tools are used by him. Here DML queries component is shown. DML means data manipulation language. uh, we are going to see details of this DML, DDL, etc. in second chapter. So the analyst may use DML queries. So the DML queries are compiled by DML compiler. Again, this DML compiler takes help of query evaluation engine, which will evaluate the query with the help of this storage manager. Fourth type of user is a database administrator. So database administrator is a person who is responsible for all the administration of the database software. So database administrator will install the database software. He will create different users of that database. He will assign different permissions to those users. He will create some tables in the database. He is responsible for taking periodic backup of that database. He will provide security to that database and so on. All are responsibilities of that database administrator. So this database administrator also interacts with the database. He uses different administration tools provided by the database system software, and with the help of these tools he interact with the database. He may write DML queries, means data manipulation language queries, for manipulating the data. He may write DDL queries. DDL means data definition language, for creating new users or for creating new tables. He will write DDL queries. Those DDL queries are interpreted by DDL interpreter component. So here query processor component, overall query processor component, it will do the function of processing the query. It will convert the query into executable code or object code. It will use query evaluation engine for fast execution of that query. And this query evaluation engine again takes help of storage manager for storing data or retrieving data to and from this hard disk. So let us see storage manager component here. It has subcomponents or software components like buffer manager. Buffer means temporary storage area. So the data which is most frequently required, such type of frequently required data, it is stored in this buffer, and management of that buffer, it will be done by this buffer manager component. There is a file manager component also. All the data in the database, it is stored in different files internally. So the file manager component will manage all those files. There is a authorization and integrity manager component. This component will check whether the user is authorized to access that data. It will check whether the database is in correct state, means if some data is manipulated, updated, then whether it is following all the rules, is it in correct state, all this will be done by this authorization and integrity manager component. It will check whether the user is having permission to access that data. If he is having permission to access that data, then and then only this data is shown to that user. And all this responsibility is handled by authorization and integrity manager component. There is a transaction manager component also. So let us first see what is meant by transaction. Transaction is a group of instructions which should be executed as a single unit. So there may be n number of instructions, but all those instructions should be executed as a single unit. In fifth unit, we are going to learn details about transaction. Now, just see basic introduction of that transaction. Suppose there is a banking application and that bank database is stored on the hard disk. There is account A having balance 5000, account B is having balance 2000, and one operation is to be performed: transfer rupees 1000 from account A to account B. So, what should be done for performing this function? So, first A's balance should be reduced by 1000, and then 1000 rupees should be added in B's balance. These two different operations are required to perform this function. Now suppose first operation is performed successfully. First instruction is executed successfully, means A's balance is read, that is a 5000, and rupees 1000 are deducted from A's balance. And after executing this first instruction, suppose your system crashes, means system shutdown occurs due to power failure or due to some other reason, system crashes. Now what will be the situation of account when system again comes on, when system is again started? A's balance will be shown as a 4000 and B's balance will be shown as 2000, because this second instruction was not executed. So whether database is in correct state now? Previously there was total amount of A's balance and B's balance was 7000, but now it is a 4000 plus 2000 means 6000. So data is not in correct state. So will it be acceptable? Rupees 1000 are deducted from A's account because A want to transfer 1000 to account B, but it is not added in B's balance. So it will never be accepted. So such type of instructions, they are written as a transaction, means it is a group of instructions which should be executed either in its entirety or nothing should be executed. So transaction is a group of instructions which should be executed either completely or nothing should be executed. So either completely execute both instructions or don't execute anything. So the balance should be either 4000 and B's balance should be 3000 if both instructions are executed successfully. Otherwise, don't execute anything. So A's balance will be 5000, B's will be 2000. So the instructions which should be executed as a single unit, they are written in transaction. And the transaction management is done by transaction manager. If suppose a transaction contains 10 number of instructions, so either all those 10 instructions should be executed or nothing should be executed. Now suppose after executing first 6 instructions, system crashes. So what should be done? All those 6 instructions should be undone. So all these functions will be done by transaction manager. We are going to see details of this transaction management in fifth chapter. So this is one important component of storage manager. So this is the overall structure of DBMS. It has components like disk storage, which actually stores the data indices, data dictionary, etc. There is a storage manager component which is responsible for retrieval of data from the database and storage of data in the database. There are different software components, subcomponents of storage manager like buffer manager, file manager, etc. Above that, there is a query processor component which is responsible for processing the query, executing the query, and at the topmost there are different types of users, database users. They interact with the database with the help of different application interfaces. Some users will use web browser like thin interfaces. Some users will write application programs, or some users will use query tools, etc., and they will interact with database. Here these different types of users works at different levels. Here the Navy user, he will work at view level. Application programmer, sophisticated users, database administrator, these types of users, they will work at logical level. So this is about the overall structure of DBMS. And now with this, the today's lecture is over. Thank you.